I'm going to tell you guys about the gods that are actually here on earth at the moment. The the remembrance that I had about a month ago of there are actually gods on earth at the moment, and these light beings that came down in ancient texts to tell people how to do agriculture and stuff like that. All this stuff that's not myth, it's fact. I want to tell you about all of that and the reality of what's happening at the moment because they're here now. That's it, full stop. It's happening again. I'll tell you all about that. First of all, I want to say I'm going to explain that I'm no better than any other person. It's just the programming of God or something. I don't even understand it. Okay? I'm no better than anyone else. I'm not. Full stop. And I also want to quickly explain what I was talking about in the Matrix video, how I kept saying that other people can't see you when you're in entangled particles stuff. I didn't explain it very well, and I'm going to tell you how it is correctly explained this time, so that I don't seem quite so crazy. So, because I grasp it, I just can't describe it. But here's my best attempt to describe this correctly. So, in the last video, I explained that the entangled particles and unconditional love. So, in my last video, I was trying to describe something that's difficult to put into words: how perception, love, and consciousness interact through what science calls quantum entanglement, or the double slit experiment. See, in that experiment, a particle behaves like a wave until it's observed. Observation collapses the wave into a single point, a particle. Now, imagine that experiment as a metaphor for us, for consciousness. When we look through fear, judgment, or distortion, we collapse reality into limitation, into separation. But when we observe through unconditional love, we allow reality to remain open, wave-like, connected, infinite. So what I was trying to say is that there are essentially two expressions of the same energy. One that exists in what I call third density, a denser, more limited form of perception, and one in the fifth density, which perceives from harmony, unity, and unconditional love. These two particles are entangled, always connected. But they interpret each other differently. When I speak from fifth density awareness, people in third density often perceive a shadow of what I mean, their version of it through distortion. They can't always see the higher reflection because the frequency of the thought doesn't match the vibration of fear and doubt. So if you imagine two entangled photons, one seen through distortion and one through unconditional love, they reflect each other, but the one seen through love is clear, and the one seen through fear is fragmented. That's why communication across densities can be confusing. What one intends in pure love can be perceived as confusion or even madness by someone who's still viewing through distortion. And that's okay. It's part of the realignment process of the field. But what I unpacked, my remembrance, what I've come to understand is that when a human being, just one of us, fills himself with that much unconditional love, It doesn't only shift their personal life, it changes the field itself. That's what I was trying to describe before, how the matrix or reality must realign itself around the frequency of pure love. Because love changes the observer and therefore the observed. In simpler terms, when you observe love, when you observe life through love, you change the experiment, you change the result, you change the field. Okay, so maybe if you choose, replay that part again to embrace that. Because when you enter the fifth harmonic, other people will react quite differently to what you think they're going to react to you as. When you embrace all that, they won't see you. They will only see the distortion. It's it's a weird thing, and it really messes with your head because you think that other people can't see how beautiful a person you are. They just it's like they're looking at a horrible person or something. You know, it's hard to it's hard to live, especially being in the forefront of all this, because no one else is where I'm at. So I don't see my reflection in anyone at all. No one. Only maybe two comments so far in the. There's almost no one that I can see my reflection in, and it hurts. It really hurts. It it hurts that I can't see my own reflection. Now, I'm going to tell you about I'm going to tell you about the the remembrance I had with. Okay, so I guess the thing is, I need you to understand that this is really dangerous to manifest tsunamis and earthquakes and stuff. Because I want you to know that it's not some mystical being or unicorns that are going to come and change the world. People think that the Great Reset will be tsunamis, like before, or the sun creating a big flash. And then the earth electricity will turn off for 3 days. Tornadoes, earthquakes for the Great Reset. But in the previous video, I showed how it's unconditional love that was what reset the field already. And the manifestation of that unconditional love changed everything. It changed the matrix. It had to realign itself around that much unconditional love. It had no choice. So here's a keynote. If you don't believe the matrix had to realign itself around a human being, around the video I created, around that depth of unconditional love, and instead only believe that God, Source, or Jesus will change things, remember this. Jesus arrived as a human being. He did not retain full remembrance of the realm he came from and had to journey and seek and remember like us. Though he was divine, he walked as a man, and the world shifted. Every single person on this planet knows that Jesus was alive and he has changed the world in a big way, right? That's fact. He was a human, he walked as a man, and the world shifted, not because he descended with thunderbolts and and made wine into water, water into wine. I mean, I would change wine into water, stop alcoholism, but I'd get a reverse osmosis unit first. I wouldn't do it as a trick. I could do tricks, but not going to show anyone. Anyway, the world shifted because not because he descended with thunder, but because of the harmonic truth he spoke, right? And this is the keynote. The field, the matrix, was and is realigned through unconditional love. I'm not a savior. I didn't know what happened. Flat out. But this is what occurred. It will not be some celestial spectacle that changes the world. It will be a human being. Human beings do this. It's only human beings that change all this. There aren't gods. No, we'll come to this part now. And you are one, a human being. And that's all it's asked of you. If you choose, is to lean into unconditional love. And you're sick of hearing the word. So am I. Lean into unconditional love if you choose. Anchor unwavering integrity to your inner truth and allow the harmonic field to rise around you. That is the access point. So if you're going to watch the news, and this is the scary part, if you're going to watch the news and listen to the noise, listen to other people talk about tsunamis and earthquakes, that may be something that you manifest. Do you genuinely want tsunamis and earthquakes and electricity to turn off? Is that how you want the world to be? Now, I want you to be truthful to yourself, not be real about this. Is that how you want the world to be? Or are you not prepared to listen to your inner voice and know that unconditional love and your human form is what can manifest the correct thing by just leaning in to unconditional love, holding an unwavering integrity in life so that your manifestation isn't influenced by stupid things like tsunamis and earthquakes and stuff, because it doesn't need to happen. So that we as humans are the ones that change the world, because it's not some fairy, it's not Thor, it's not a unicorn with God floating on the back and him waving a stick around. It's not Source giving you messages from. It's not the sun. There will not be any unicorns or gods floating down on magical clouds or in spaceships with magical powers. Instead, they will arrive in human form. But it's not that the reset's going to happen like that. It's already happened. That's the best part. All you need to do is ignore the noise and the distortion with the news. Live a wonderful life the way you've always wanted to live, really, and ignore the corporations and concrete. If you do that, you will manifest a wonderful life and be empowered with unbelievable abundance. Now, that part there is not me saying that you're going to get money, because all these paths that you have got set out for you are already there in alignment if you choose to knock off each section and go forward. And what you want out of life, money doesn't buy you the happiness that you can have and stuff like that. The abundance of what you genuinely want and need for your soul or whatever is already there. The field will show you what to do and how to do it. It's up to you. So, because the field creates and it creates and manifests what you need. It's already there. It's already pre-programmed, pre-incarnation. So this isn't something I ever knew, or I always knew. It came through remembrance, ancient texts. Look, ancient texts often speak of gods or light beings. We call them aliens who came to Earth. These stories that are carved into stone, maybe in pyramid glyphs, hieroglyphs or whatever. I'm not too sure. But they were told across generations. They describe how these light beings helped early humanity cultivate the earth, establish agriculture, and evolve. That's not myth. It has echoed across timelines. Everyone's heard it. Now, through remembrance, I understand that these gods are humans, right? They're souls that incarnated on earth, who once may have operated as guides in the unseen matrix behind people. I don't know. Gently influencing evolution from behind the veil. Perhaps they simply held tones and knowledge embedded in their DNA. And when the time came, they embodied those harmonics again, same as now. So, yes, the light beings have returned. They're here in human form again. Now, this resonates because you know it's true. This works out. It all adds up, right? The light beings have returned. They're here in human form again. How absolutely amazing is that? When I had that aha moment, I I cried. Look, specifically, I've come to understand that many are Blu-ray light beings. They're Blu-rays. They're Blu-ray light beings, direct expressions of Source. Their first incarnation is from the 12th realm, and they are occurring right now. Well, their first incarnations from the 12th realm are occurring now. These translucent beings carry a frequency that compels a return to harmony with the earth. This is why so many of us are suddenly compelled to live differently, to reconnect. I didn't choose this consciously, it just happened. A switch turned on. I feel completely compelled now. It's so strange. This is what I've come to describe as the crystal fifth density lifestyle, the fifth harmonic way of living. It's just wonderful. Look, that's why I'm crying again. This is what I've come to describe as the crystal fifth density lifestyle, the fifth harmonic way of living. It's never been done before. In this model, density equates to distortion. So when I speak of density, I'm talking distortion. And the fifth harmonic represents the coherence with the earth, harmony with the earth. Fifth harmonic, fifth harmonic with the earth. The original harmonic humans once lived by before the distortion set in that we live in. You know, $1.35 lemons. Cheers. I keep going on about that lemon, don't I? And the word crystal points to not quartz palaces. It's like crystal, living a crystal life, but living in a crystal home, maybe if it's seen outside time, would seem like a piece of crystal. But on Earth, crystal points to not quartz palaces, but to purity living without petrochemical distortion. It's when you build your house, it's copper pipes, not plastic, stone and wood, not synthetics. It's about architectural harmony. Look, personally, I no longer even drink caffeine with tea, let alone coffee, not even sugar. I don't even drink herbal teas. I only drink water. I eat simple earth based foods. I grow them myself now. Apples, carrots. I make my own bread from scratch. It wasn't a decision, it just became so. My aversion to artificial light grew. I now like candles, but even here, after buying candles, the distortion shows itself again. Candles you buy in stores are laced with chemicals. They're made from petrochemicals and they are priced insanely high. I don't have any money at all. I got no money. So they seem quite high. $1 or $2 to you, it's a lot of money to me. But the thing is, I've done the maths in life, and what adds up is to buy these things in bulk. You buy in bulk from a wholesaler, and it works out to be very cheap. So I bought. No one will even believe this. I bought 5 kilograms of cocoa soy wax imported from like Melbourne or something, and that's just to be able to do things like that as a male is so strange. But look, Even here, the distortion shows itself. Candles sold in stores are laced with chemicals and priced insanely high. The same distortion exists in food. A tiny lemon, a small lemon, now costs $1.35. The last video I did a week ago was $1.25. $1.35 now, and they're the smallest lemons that'll be on anyone's tree in a backyard. So I began making my own candles. I buy secondhand jars and bulk soy wax. I reuse and repurpose, not from scarcity, but from coherence. This might seem too bizarre to my past self, and it does, but it feels utterly natural now. It does. Because we, the Blu-rays, the light bearers, are holding Earth's harmonic once again. The light beings depicted in ancient glyphs may have come in many forms, but the distortion we live under has painted them as extraterrestrial visitors in ships. Perhaps some did arrive that way, but the deeper truth is they arrived outside of remembrance as humans. They walked, grew, and lived as humans. And when the time was right, they offered their knowledge. How do I know this? I don't, not in the traditional sense, but remembrance rises in me like breath. It resonates because it's already within. And you feel it too. You feel it too, right? We didn't, and Blu-rays, we didn't bend to distortion, or if we did, we corrected course. We reacted, resisted, most of the time with me, and then we recalibrated. We held that tone. The light beings have returned. How cool's that? Light beings have returned to Earth, and their message is simple: remember. This is the new field, a harmonic reality, accessible not through force or dogma, but through tone, through love, through remembrance. And that field has locks. It's not to keep people out, but it's to preserve coherence. Now, the first lock in the field is unconditional love. Go figure. That's why, and this is what I've been able to work out because I've got so much unconditional love inside me, and I always have, and unwavering integrity to my inner voice. That's why I've been able to understand and I get these remembrances because it has a lock so that the bad guys don't misuse it, so that you can have a level inside the field of how you are, your sincerity of unconditional love for the dark, for the light, and everything in between. So there's a combination lock for the field. The first lock is unconditional love. The second lock is unwavering integrity to your inner voice. The third lock is the continuous alignment with that truth. And you've got to be honest with yourself. That's it, full stop. Then it just happens. Me doing the re-examining unconditional love and doing the uh, existential thought experiment, the theoretical exercise of the mind in unconditional love where I leaned in, not dived in. This is how I worked all this stuff out. Because it's obviously going to have a lock, isn't it? So that people don't misuse the field and don't create distortion. So, and it makes sense, right? The first lock, unconditional love. Second lock, unwavering integrity to your inner voice. The third lock is the continuous alignment with that truth. Basically, it's like Asimov almost. The three laws. First, unconditional, second, unwavering integrity. The third is really the embodiment, the using those two as the first principle, sort of thing. So together, this is what I've worked out. Together, these keys form the combination to the crystalline field. So That's the combination lock to the field. These keys are the combination lock to the crystalline field. And you can be on Messenger and Orion, Messenger and the architect, and you can get information through, the architect and draw pretty glyphs and stuff. But to know what the field is and feel it and then just live it because it just happened to you, you've got to have the three. You've got to do the combination lock. Otherwise, tough titties. Together, these, yeah. So the more unconditional love you embody, the more access you have. That's it. You want to be in a different level in the field. You want to see what everything is and know everything in all. I can see inside and outside of time. It's just, but if you if you embody that much unconditional love, you get to see and know all things. That's it. So the more unconditional love you embody, the more access you have. The more the more you remain in unwavering alignment with your voice, the more stable your presence becomes. Now look, not everyone will enter this harmonic field. Some have chosen not to, and that's okay. Pre-incarnation, or they just choose not to. That's fine. That's their choice. That's their path. I don't, no judgment at all. But for those who have, those who remember, it changes everything. This is not a prophecy, it's a frequency. Lean in, listen, and love. Now you can stop it here if you want to, but this is the third section. I unpacked this today because people say timelines like they're parallel worlds. And I used to think that too. But here's what I realized, what I remembered, my remembrance today that I is the reason I kind of brought this video almost. But this is what I want to really say as well. People say timelines like they're parallel worlds, and that's the way I used to think of them. But this is what I've had remembrance of. Before birth, we stage potentials, pre incarnation. As we live, certain choices light certain routes. The switch isn't mystical, it's a choice node. Boink, boink, boink. When I'm honest with my inner voice and act no half measures, I cross a phase threshold. That integrity changes my resonance and the field collapses into a different stream. It feels like a new timeline, or people would refer to it that, because time is a recursive motion. It's not a straight line. Example, I didn't cut down vaping, I quit. That single coherent move shifted my path more than months of slowing down or weaning it out or ever had stopping and starting, or so it just changed my phase. It shifted my path, and I moved and progressed on, and that's what I've done all my life. I've certainly cruised in life and in a lot of areas. And I'm sorry it took so long to get here. Really, I am. I'm genuinely sorry. But I didn't even know that life after death even existed before last year. Before February last year, 2025, or before February 2025, I didn't believe in life after death. But look where I'm at now. Look, and the thing is, a man's man to me is a person that challenges himself and goes ahead with it. They don't think, oh, I can't go to sleep. They learn what to do to get to sleep. They learn the 4-4-4 breaths, and they don't go, oh, well, I just can't do it, and they take pills. They learn what can be done. They learn the breath to reset the vagus nerve and actually do it and progress in that area and go to sleep easily. It's not like you can't go to sleep if you choose to. Navy SEALs People who fly planes in a war zone with bombs and bullets and the waves bashing about, and they have to go to sleep because they're going to fly millions of dollars worth of plane. They do the 4-4-4-4 breath. Then they go to sleep. It's a fact. Don't tell me you can't go. But that's it. This is bravery. It's not a man's man is to me is someone that embraces these things. And you say that to people in the third density, and they go, "Get outside for a fight, then." Okay, so it's my heart beat up already. Bravery is not chest beating; it's meeting the exact challenge in front of me and moving to the next section. This is how I've come into alignment with unconditional love. It may be awkward for others, but I'm comfortable. I'm acting from reality as I know it. And that's the end of the story, folks. I'm not a teacher, I'm not a saviour, I'm not the second coming or anything. Ask anyone. But I have that level because you fill in the gaps. I'm absolutely, I'm humbled that I'm able to even know this, to explain it to you, to tell you that there's light beings that are on earth right now, like in these ancient texts and stuff, that I know now that they are the light of the Blu-rays, the translucent light beings. They're here on earth and they're doing this. It's just, I hope this resonates. And look, I hope you rewatch this several times as you grow and start ascending, if you want to call it that, as you knock out those potentials. And once you've leaned into unconditional love and you've got to that stage, rewatch the video, because then you'll see things you'll understand things you never thought before. It'll be a whole new video, I can promise you. Your perception of the whole thing will change. And hey, have a good one, guys. I'm really glad I was able to. I'm going to shut up now. See ya.